I'm pleased to be joined this evening's show by the Director of Recreation in our city and the one responsible for coordinating how the new soccer fields are going to open and the play that it's going to get, the Director of Recreation, Paul Addessa. Director, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Mayor.
It's good to see you again.
Well, I'm back before the summer. So
that's right.
I'll probably be back in a couple of months to talk about our summer programs, but a lot of exciting things going on in the recreation department this past winter. And like you mentioned, we started construction back in August on a $2 million soccer football facility down at the waterfront with the state-of-the-art synthetic turf. The Union County Kids Trust Fund also threw in $500,000 for this project.
And that was the freeholders.
That was the freeholders, yes. And so we're looking to open on March 24th at 12 o'clock. And we're very excited about it because these fields are the first synthetic fields in our inventory in the recreation department. And we're looking to and eventually be building some more in the future.
Yeah, last week's show, Councilman Frank Cuesta was talking about his plans and his ideas to convert O'Brien Field into a synthetic field. And I know he's had discussions and meetings with you. And tell us, is that a reality? Is that can happen?
Well, absolutely, Mayor. I mean, the O'Brien project hopefully will start sometime this fall and will be completed around this time next year. The difference between the two fields, the waterfront has a combination football soccer, which is a regulation size field, and the second field is also a soccer field for the older children and also young adults. This field is going to be just dedicated at O'Brien Field under 11, so a lot of the real young kids will be utilizing O'Brien Field. The specs for that field will be just geared for them. The smaller goals, the smaller boxes, and not only are we going to be doing the field, but we're also going to be renovating the playground. We're going to put some off-street parking. We're going to be refurbishing the existing fence. As you know, that the wrought iron fence around O'Brien Field probably has been there, I would say, close to 75.
I think the neighbors would really love to see that fence stay.
Oh yeah, well that's what I said, and it's such a part of the Peterstown community. As you know, I grew up in Peterstown, and so keeping that same type of fence and refurbishing the fence will still keep that same look for O'Brien Field.
And Director, the soccer field, football field at the waterfront, we're both having football and soccer players there to join us as well.
Yes, we're going to have the two youth football teams, which is the Elizabeth Packers and also the Elizabeth PAL. They will be on hand. However, their season will not start till August 1st. But they're going to be there, and they're very excited about their new home. We're going to have quite a few youth soccer organizations there. The Maryland Soccer Academy, Elizabeth Youth Soccer, which is part of the Our Lady of Fatima Soccer, plus some adult groups that are going to be there. So we're very excited on the 24th, finally getting these fields open. You
know, when we were growing up, we had all these basketball leagues from the Catholic grammar schools throughout the city, and they all played at Thomas Jefferson Gymnasium every Saturday for the Catholic grammar school. It seems we've changed as we don't have any Catholic grammar schools. We now have a lot of competition for soccer fields.
Absolutely, Mayor. I mean, as you know, when we were in grammar school, I think it was like 16 grammar schools in the city of Elizabeth, and now with unfortunately, with the closing of St. Patrick's, we're going to be down to, I believe, 2 grammar schools. So things have changed, and so the recreation department has to move from, say, those programs to different programs. And soccer and football in Elizabeth is very popular, and we have to make these improvements to keep up with the change in the type of recreation people are looking for.
And this project at the waterfront, as you mentioned before, was funded by the freeholders at $500. The total project is $2 million?
The total project is $2 million. It was bonded. It was approved by City Council. However, the Union County Trust Fund money through the Board of Chosen Freeholders, County Manager Al Fiella, they have awarded us $500,000. Actually, it was 2 different grants that we applied for, and so $500,000 is going to be reimbursed through the county for this project.
And a lot of the folks that played in this, the soccer groups especially, were playing on grass for a long time, but the grass got dug up through use, right? There's too much use.
As you know, Mayor, I mean, you go by Mantano Park, you go by Phil Rizzuto Park, and the same thing down the waterfront. It's very difficult to keep natural grass on these fields with the high demand of soccer and football. As you can see in the NFL or even in the professional soccer leagues, I mean, most fields are synthetic turf. And synthetic turf has come a long way. The technology, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, there was a lot of questions on the safety of synthetic turf. However, now with the procedures in place and the cleansing of the infill, this synthetic turf now is cleaner, in my opinion, than natural grass because A, you don't have to fertilize, and B, down at the waterfront we had a problem with the Canadian geese and created other problems. So it's gonna. I mean, I was just down there this morning, and the fields look terrific, and I'm very excited. And I think and the play you can over grass you can start now in March, where grass probably will not be able to get on it this early, and we could even go to probably the first snow. So we can get a lot more games in. The seasons can be longer, and so we don't have to deal with the constant reseeding, resodding, and by doing that, you never really achieve anything.
And Director, one of the things I announced in my State of the City speech was people are looking for work, and the City of Elizabeth, we did a tax cut this year. We're hiring more police and fire, but we're also looking to residents who have been unemployed for a long period of time, and we're giving them the opportunity through an Elizabeth Hires program to work for a few months in public works positions on cleaning streets. And I've asked your department to do the hiring process for this short-term program that hopefully will maintain the quality of life for some folks who have been out of work for a few months. Tell us how that's going.
Well, absolutely, Mayor. Just last week, I interviewed 44 individuals for jobs, which are going to be public works jobs that will be doing outdoor maintenance duties. I have another, I believe, 40 coming in this week for interviews. So we're looking to hire approximately anywhere from 80 to 100 on the first phase, and to start putting them to work and to start beautifying the city. Also, a lot of these employees will eventually, obviously the program is temporary, however we will be able to help them in their future job searches by providing them with recommendations. And so it's a win-win for not only the City of Elizabeth and the residents, but also for these employees, at least for them to get an opportunity to jumpstart their work, their employment again, and hopefully then by them working for us, they can continue on working and finding employment in the public sector.
And what was your role in this program? It was similar to how you hire for the summer program.
Well, yes. I mean, my role, as you know, we hire approximately over 125 for the summer, so we've been doing it for quite a few years. So, so my role was to send out letters to potential, to the applicants, and then they came in. They had to call the office, set up an appointment with me, and they were interviewed, and basically what we do is now we're putting them on the payroll, and we anticipate having them start work on, I believe, April 19th. So they'll be starting to work soon, and then I think the residents of the city start seeing jobs like vacant lots being cleaned up, maybe curbs being painted, cleaning graffiti off of playgrounds. So whatever outdoor work that needs to get done, then possibly the Public Works Department can't get to, or just don't have the resources, we'll be able to do that.
And if anybody needs work done during this period of time, they can call us.
Yeah, absolutely. They can call us at 820-4222 in my recreation department, and then we can give them more information regarding not only the Elizabeth Hires program, also our summer recreation program.
Or if they need something cleaned up. And
oh yeah, if they need something cleaned up, absolutely. I will make sure that the Public Works Department is notified, and that and they'll respond to it.
Now, another thing you've always done is you've sponsored some Easter egg hunts that are coming up at the end of March, and can you tell us about those as well?
Yes, Mayor. I mean, of course, we've been doing these Easter egg hunts for at least, well, this is probably the 20th year, and they're always a great time. What we've done is it was so popular that we used to have only one. Now we have two. So we have one at Kellogg Park, which will start at 9:30 in the morning. This is on Saturday, March 31st. And the second one will be at Carteret Park on Saturday, same day, Saturday, March 31st at 12 o'clock. And what's going to happen is that kids could bring in bring a basket. Parents could also bring a camera. We'll have the Easter Bunny there. What happens is that these kids will have these plastic eggs all over the park, and of course they just go crazy and picking up eggs. And so what happens is there'll be like a number inside, or a color inside the egg will determine if they get a small prize, a medium prize, or a large prize. However, whatever they get, it's like a stuffed animal. But if they don't get anything like that, they will still get a chocolate bunny from us.
Now, Councilman Gonzalez and Councilman Gallman, in whose wards are held, and usually sponsor a huge basket, I'm told, as well.
Yes, they've been doing this for quite a few years, where they would buy a huge basket and we would raffle it off at each particular event.
Lots of chocolate.
Lots of chocolate, yes. Easter is a lot of chocolate.
How many do we typically get there? How many?
Well, I mean, obviously the weather plays a big part of any Easter egg hunt, because of, it's generally it's in March, the end of March or early April. So, but if it's like today and what's going to be this week, I'm sure we're going to be getting hundreds of kids at each location, and it's a fun time. I mean, it's Easter egg hunts. The event is short, but I think the kids really enjoy themselves, and it's really a good way for them to get ready for the Easter season.
Well, Director, I thank you for all of your efforts in getting these soccer fields, football fields ready for this year's season. I know it took a lot with you and the other members of the team to get it done, and appreciate your efforts, and look forward to seeing the Easter egg hunts, as well as the new people we're hiring for this short period of time to help clean the city, and appreciate your efforts.
Well, thank you, Mayor, very much.
Please stay with us after these messages. We'll be back with Stephen Fernandez and his new efforts as the coordinator of cleaning up some graffiti throughout the city of Elizabeth. Welcome back to our city. I want to thank Director Paul Addessa on the first segment of our show, and I'm pleased to welcome for the second segment Mr. Stephen Fernandez in the city of Elizabeth. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Stephen, you've been with the city how long?
About 2 years now, Mayor.
And tell us a little bit about yourself. First time on the show, right?
Yes, it is. I work with the City of Elizabeth's Community Development Department. I coordinate the volunteer and community service programs. I work a lot with the youth in the city, cleaning up some parks, cleaning up some streets, and cleaning graffiti off some property.
Now, you replaced Bob Kroom in that effort on cleaning the city, and Bob was here for a number of years. I think
over 20 years, I believe, 30 years, 35 years. And
he was here longer than you were born, right?
Yeah, he is. You know, he really he went outside himself, cleaning off graffiti. He brought a couple kids to clean up with him. So I'm replacing a legend. So that's good. And
what did he teach you?
Just make sure to clean up all the graffiti. If a resident calls or something, make sure that the Public Works Department goes by fast, cleans it up. We're not going to be complaining.
So what are we doing? You know, how do we go through the process for me if somebody wakes up in the morning and they see their garage or something graffitied?
If somebody sees graffiti on their home or business, they could give me a call, and then I myself.
What number?
908-820-4724. They go out. I go out myself with Public Works Department. I make sure that the graffiti is only on the first level. It can't be in the second. And then I speak to John's companion, Department of Public Works, and myself, I go out with maybe some kids to clean it up, or the Department of Public Works brings over some people to clean it up. So either they water it down with high pressure water machines, they paint it over, or they have this liquid called elephant snot that takes off the graffiti. So
have you watched that work?
No, I haven't. Not yet. No, I haven't. No.
You have to see that. I mean, the high-powered steam is phenomenal how it happens.
Yeah.
Now, the phone call comes in from the constituent, and you follow up and you go out there. Do they have to sign anything or anything?
Yeah, they have to sign a waiver, giving us the okay to go on the clinic, go on their property, clean it off, and that's it. They just give me a call. They clean it off absolutely free, and we go out and clean it up.
Now, what is the anti-graffiti program? It's basically what you've been talking about?
Yeah, it's the City of Elizabeth, they're working really aggressive to combat the graffiti program here in the city. Now, we go out, we take the graffiti off. I also get some volunteer kids or probation kids that some of them have been caught doing graffiti, and they themselves have to clean it up.
And is this program open to all residents?
All residents.
Anybody?
Anybody.
Now, tell us what you mean by not the second floor. The machines can't get up there, or why?
What I was told is Department of Public Works doesn't want their employees on the second floor.
And the machines are sometimes too heavy to get up that high.
Yeah, they told me that.
And so therefore, if it's on the second floor, the only way we can get off is paint it.
Yeah.
and that's a little more difficult. And the viewers can call your number. How else can they report it? Through the website?
Their website, elizabethnj.org, or they could call City of Elizabeth. They transfer them to me, or another department to get it. They give me the call, and I'll speak to them, or I go out and get the message and get it cleaned up.
Now, sometimes the graffiti is on a building where the owner may not live here.
Yeah.
And you get a phone call and the owner doesn't live here. What do you got to do then? It probably takes a little longer and the people might get a little frustrated.
Yeah, if I can't reach them or I can't contact them for whatever reason, I speak to the tax department or the Elizabeth Water Company and find out the contact information. They might live Rahway or New York City or something, and either email them, send them a letter, or give them a call so we could schedule a cleanup.
And are people receptive?
Yeah, in the beginning, you sure it's free? You don't have to pay anything, and
that's the first question they ask.
Yeah, it's free. It's free. Yeah, it's a win-win though. We clean up the city, we beautify it, and the residents get their graffiti off. Makes it more appealing to shoppers and residents. So everybody wins. And
you talked about how the graffiti is removed. What do you think they do the most of? You think it's the high pressure or this chemical you talked about, or painting, or do you think it's evenly
I think they
split?
paint more.
Yeah,
I really think they paint more. They a lot of graffiti is on electrical boxes or on a fence or something. It has to be painted. And not a lot of graffiti is on brick wall with the high pressure water machines on. So I think most likely is they paint a lot more.
They paint it. That's probably what they do the most. And when you say the program is free, is there any cost at all involved?
No, it's not.
None. The turnaround time from the time a resident makes a complaint to you can get the graffiti off what's the average?
I would say about a week, as long as I keep on top of the Department of Public Works and when I get the message, I go out and everything. About a week.
About a week.
Yeah.
And what happens if it's not done in a week?
I chase around the Public Works Department, complaining that there's a resident, they're really upset, they're agitated, they want to get it cleaned up. So they work really hard.
Now, Stephen, do you go out there from the beginning and see the graffiti out there, and then do you check it out at the end?
I check it off after a week and a half. I go out and check it. I paint it over some spots also.
So. You yourself have painted over, and but you haven't seen these machines work yet.
No, I haven't, not yet.
So yeah, you got to figure out how that works, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
The business or businesses removing graffiti, the houses or business here we've removed in the past. How many do you think we've done?
When I took over from Bob, he said there has to be hundreds and hundreds of homes already that have been cleaned up. When I took over, I scheduled about 65. So it's over 200, 250, 300, way above that, I believe.
And you're doing this since when?
December.
December. And you've been with us 2 years, but you also did a stint in the law department, right?
Yes, I did. For about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Helping the lawyers out, doing paralegal related work. It's really different. 2 different jobs.
I was just going to say, tell us about the culture shock of moving from the law department to handling graffiti. It's something you wanted to do too.
Yeah, I did. I want to work more with residents. I want to get more involved, and the law department is more quiet. Everything's really quiet, and you have to read a lot. And going outside for graffiti and other programs we do community service, you work more with residents, so it's really different.
And the language issue, you speak Spanish fluently, so anybody that has a problem, you're able to help them in Spanish as well.
Yeah.
And
a lot of homeowners I go out to, most of them speak Spanish. Majority of them do. So I think they feel comfortable speaking with me.
And what do you think the success rate is when you're done? Are people happy, or you just?
I think they're absolutely happy.
Do they thank you, or what do you think?
Yeah, they're really grateful. Thank you, I appreciate it so much. But the truth of the matter is, graffiti is ongoing, and sooner or later they'll call back that they have graffiti again. So, but they're really happy. They're really grateful for the program.
And they know that if we take it off once, they know that you can call back again.
Absolutely, yes, I know that.
The number that the residents can call, give me that number again.
908-820-4724. That's my direct line. They'll call me from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or leave a message, and we'll go out and we'll clean it up.
And Stephen, tell us about the comparison of the different types of graffitis. Do we ever have to work with the police department on certain tags or anything? Do they take photographs of it?
Some homeowners have, they've had video cameras of actual people doing graffiti. So some police officers come through and they take pictures of it. And if they find out who it was, then they go to Union County juvenile system, and then they come to me, and then they themselves have to clean it up. So sometimes police involved, yeah.
Now, when you say they have to clean it up, are they cooperative or not?
No, not really. It doesn't make any sense. They you know, it's graffiti. Although it's artistic, it's a crime, and they enjoy it, but they have to clean it up anyway. You know,
but they're not happy about it.
No, absolutely not.
But isn't there a game out there on the internet they can play too to get points for this, Echo or something?
Yeah, there's games everywhere.
Yeah.
They just want to tag everywhere.
So they tag the harder they tag, the more points they get and stuff like that.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Stephen, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us on the show and talk about your efforts to remove graffiti, and it's something that we've concentrated on, especially as spring rolls around.
Yeah. Because
it's easier now. You don't have to worry about the cold weather on those machines. Mm-hmm. So thank you very much for taking the time to join us on the show. And can we have that number one more time?
908-820-4724.
Thank you. For Stephen Fernandez and the Anti-Graffiti Program, Director Paul Addessa of the Recreation Department, and the new soccer fields that will open at the end of this week, I'm Chris Bolwage. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.